Stephanie Milky here, aka Keto Mom, or often called mom, sis, Steffi, daughter, wife, aunt, and friend. Just like many of you, I carry a lot of titles. My favorite title is mom. I should probably say wife, which takes a lot of my time. But let's be honest, if you want to do something and do it well, you will make the time for it. Commitment is hard because we find ourselves overcommitted, but when you practice prioritizing, you will find out what is actually important and what you can let go. With the Keto Mom podcast, you will learn together how to manage our time, commit to the most important things in life, and I will equip you with the tools you need to feel qualified each step of the way. My name is Stephanie Milky, and welcome to the Keto Mom Secrets podcast. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Keto Mom page. My name is Stephanie, and I want to share something with you. So as you're tuning in, tell me where you're tuning in from. It could be, you might see me on the page or my husband. Sometimes my kids pop in, but our hope for this page, my hope for this page, oh dear, my thing shakes. My hope for this page is that you come here to be inspired, to realize that you shouldn't be doing life by yourself. So I was thinking this morning, and I wasn't thinking, I was like reading. I wish you could see, if I move my camera, it might screw it all up. But in front of me, I've got notebooks. I've got notebooks. I've got tons of papers. Like, look at this I'm like surrounded with stuff, right? Surrounded with stuff. And I was going through old notes. I was going through just a lot of things and thinking, what do I need to share on the Keto Mom page? What do people need? What do people need? I oftentimes feel like a broken record. And I read something that I took notes on. I take tons of notes. I've got notes all over the place in my phone and on Post-it notes and in 18 different notebooks. And so I got a notebook out and I was reading, and I read a couple things that I wanted to share with you. And one of them was this. I wrote this down yesterday. And it says, let me make sure I read it right. Hold on. The level of revelation determines your level of transformation. And I was thinking about that quote, your level of revelation. To me, that means awareness. It could be, have you ever heard me say this before? And this is true. Oftentimes people need to hear things, I think it's like 17 times before they actually make a shift. And so your revelation, how did I say it? Because I labeled it. The level of your revelation, you could say the level of your awareness, you could say your understanding determines the level of your transformation. What does that mean? And hey, thanks for saying good morning. Good morning to all of you that are hopping on. There are choices in your life, right? And you're going to learn things as you go. You learn things from, we have so much accessibility, so many people that we can learn from on social media. I think that there's an aspect of you're going to learn something. And the point is that you hear something from somebody you're listening to or you're reading, you're going to have a revelation, and not sit on that awareness or revelation, but to put it into action. I don't have a new book. I have thoughts that I'm sharing. I don't have a book that I'm reading besides my Bible. So I get up every single morning. I read my Bible. My hope is my phone is actually driving me nuts because it's shaking. So hold on. I'm going to change this around. I don't have a book because I don't have another book that I'm personally reading. I read every single day, and I listen to podcasts. I listen to certain people. And in that, I like to take notes. I take a ton of notes. I don't have a book. I don't have a book yet. I've gone through probably hundreds of books. If you ever want to go through a book that I've done in the past, you can go to ketomomsecrets.com and click on book club. But I also am a part of a mastermind by Keith Craft. It talks about the power of your thinking. There's some amazing pastors I listen to, and I read my Bible. That's what I'm doing right now until I find a book that I want to share with you on here. So I thought I would come on and just share some thoughts for myself. I will tell you this. Most of the time, people love to collect. They love to collect a whole bunch of information from people. They love to listen and listen and listen and listen. Here's the key. It's to put it into action. And so what I just said, I labeled this live. I labeled it your revelation. I don't know why I just keep forgetting it. I have to write it down. I don't need a picture. What? Oh, I'll get it later. Thank you. All right. So your level of revelation determines the level of your transformation. So I would say this. I often have people, we've learned this in business. You have to hear things over and over and over again before somebody finally decides to make a decision. It's not that you're not aware. It's not that you don't know what to do. It's just a matter of hearing it over and over and over again. So I was flipping through my notes and I was like, man, what do I know? I know that your thinking is one of the most valuable gifts that you have, your mindset. But this really determines your entire day or even your life in general. It starts with your thinking. Usually people might try to blame their environment or blame other people, but like 90% of the reason why you do or don't do something is because you're either talking yourself out of it, you're your own negativity or encouragement, right? You either learn how to encourage yourself or you're beating yourself up, and it starts with your own thinking more than even anything on the outward of it. Your thinking. So I'm going to read a couple of things I was reading this morning. Your thinking shapes your beliefs in everything that you do. And you either have an awareness or you choose to ignore it. But oftentimes I'll tell people, listen, if I took everything away and all we're doing is starting on fat loss today, how would you know? Okay, the question is, would you know what to do? I would say 99% of you would say yes. I need to drink more water, maybe move my body, eat better. And so how do you get to the next level? How do you get to that spot where you're like, I'm actually going to make a change? It's not just watching. It's not just learning. It's not just listening. It's taking action. It's learning. The secret is doing. And then the next secret after that, I truly feel like gets it in you, is teaching. Learn, do, teach. Teach those around you. Share it with other people, because the fastest way for you to get something in you is to share it, to teach other people. It might be your kids or your spouse or asking a friend to do it with you, because you're speaking it into existence. You're getting it out there. You're teaching other people because you had the revelation of it and now it's in you. You get to learn it. You do it. That's the action. And then you teach it. Learn, do, teach. So I was flipping through my notes and I'm like, man, I have so many things that I've learned over the course, I would say 10 years. I've learned so much in 10 years. And all of it on all of these notes, everything that I write down has to do with your thinking, has to do with your awareness, has to do with you having a revelation of, oh my goodness, I know this. It starts in my mind. It starts with an attitude of gratitude. Am I going to control my thinking? Am I going to let other people tell me what I should and shouldn't be doing? I don't even know if this is making sense. I would love to go through another book, but I'm like, man, there's so much awareness that just needs to be taught in the power of your mindset. And that's it. How do you switch it? You learn from people. You take time to have a thankful heart. Like if you're feeling like, well, I just don't feel like it today. I just kind of feel crummy today. I want to be crabby today. How do you switch it? Look outside. Take a deep breath. Be thankful that you're alive. You need to like legitimately train your brain to see the cup half full and not half empty. Do you look outside and see a cloudy day, or do you look outside and see the blue sky? There's a difference. Are you like, it's cloudy, or like, oh, I see a glimmer of blue? It's how you perceive the world. It's what you're looking at. It's not like it's a secret talent. It is a taught. It is an awareness. And once you go, oh, it's all in my own perspective and my thoughts, you can either choose to look at life and go, I'm going to own this. I'm going to dominate this. I'm going to be thankful. I'm going to level up. I'm going to have an awareness of my choices matter. And I'm going to choose life. I'm going to choose joy. I'm going to choose contentment in where I'm at as I'm striving for better. I choose. That's huge. You choose. People don't choose for you. Well, you might allow them to, but you choose. You choose to get up and be crabby or happy. You choose to pack your lunch or go grab the French fries. You choose to skip the gym or to go to the gym. You choose to yell at your kids or to realize that you can control your emotions. You choose. It's a choice. That's what I have for you. I have lots of notes, actually. And I will just tell you this. You have greatness inside of you. And don't give up. Don't quit. The only way that you're going to fail at anything in life is if you decide to quit. There are many times that I will sit here and I'm like, this is hard. I don't want to do it. I do want to do it. I don't want to do it. Wait, why don't I want to do it? Oh, because it's hard. Will it be worth it? 100%. Is it going to be easy? No. Can I have an attitude of joy and gratitude during the hard? 100%. Why? Because I'm choosing. I'm going to choose it. I'm going to choose to smile. I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to go, thank you, Lord, that I have another day. How should I best use it? How do I want to be remembered? If today was my last day, would I want to be crabby? Or my last week? Or I see this person for the last time? Am I going to be remembered as somebody who was negative and crabby? Or am I going to be remembered as somebody who did the best that she could, that owned her day, that smiled, that brought people joy? Wasn't perfect, but did the very best that I could. How will you be remembered and how will people think of you even throughout their day? Super important. The last thing I'm going to say is this. Your words, your thoughts are super powerful. Your thoughts turn into words. And so I have not been doing this recently. I've done it in the past. Do any of you have an I am statement or like declarations or things that you declare and maybe you're like, I don't even know what that means? If you truly understand the power of your words, it's biblical. So maybe you're like, not for me, but if it is for you, the Bible is very clear that your words have the power of life and death. And in fact, even if you don't look at it as a biblical perspective, there are tons of scientific studies and tons of studies of, like, for example, I've shared this before on the page. We did 3 different rice jars years ago. It was a science project. We took 3 rice jars and we put them in, we'll put rice in glass jars, white rice. And we spoke to one very positively. We spoke to one and we said loving things. My kids did this. We ignored one of the jars. So we put one away and we ignored it. One we spoke positive to and one we spoke negative to. And after, I don't know if it was weeks or a month, I can't remember. It wasn't months. It probably was a week or so. The one that we spoke negative to was almost all completely moldy. The one that we ignored was about half, and the one that we spoke positive words to, the least mold out of all of them. People have done this with plants. They speak negative to a plant and they speak positive to a plant, and they've seen the negative one die and the positive one live. I'm telling you that because your words are powerful, that you're speaking over yourself. And so I finally said today, I was listening to our Think coach. We're in an online mastermind with a pastor. His name's Pastor Keith Craft, and he talks a lot about thinking and the power of your thinking and how it's a gift that you have. And he talks about how that he has declarations every day that he says. And I was like, man, I need to do that again. Like, I think a lot of great things, but I don't declare them. So if there's one action step I could give to you today is I got out a piece of paper and I wrote out my declaration that I'm going to put in the front of my Bible that I'm going to speak out loud every morning over me and my family. And I'll give you an example of what it is. This might not pertain to you at all, but it's super important to me. And my thought is, if my words are powerful and my words have the power of life and death, why would I not want to start my day off with powerful words over my family? So here's my declaration I wrote out for today. This is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. These are Bible verses. I have them written down by them too. I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. By his stripes, my body is healed and strong. I will not fear. God doesn't give us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. I am the head. I should say we, it's our family. We are the head and not the tail, and we will walk in victory. And I said, thank you, Father, for an amazing, abundant life. Thank you for health and wealth so that we can build the kingdom. We thank you for divine wisdom and discernment daily. We thank you for the right alignments and assignments. We love you, Jesus. Amen. That was my declaration for today. And I thought, I'm going to say that every day. It's things that I believe for my life. It's things I'm believing over my family. And if my words truly have power, then this is powerful. Right? If you are like, I don't really get this, it's the first time I'm hearing this, that's great. It's your first awareness. It's your first revelation. Knowledge comes out of revelation, and revelation changes your whole life, because all of a sudden you know, and you're like, oh, I know this. I've heard this, and now I get to do something with it. Your words are powerful. This is super important. Your words will change your environment. Your awareness will change your environment. Your attitude changes your environment. And what does that have to do with your fat loss? Everything. Everything. Because you are where you are today because of the choices that you've made, and you can change it. You don't have to be that anymore, but it's going to start with this first. If you've ever heard me say, as I think, so I feel. As I feel, so I do. As I do, so I have. As I think creates a feeling. My feelings create actions. My actions are the result of what I have in my life. If you don't like what you have in your life, you can change it. It's not easy. We already talked about that. It's a simple process. And the simple process is starting with your thinking. What are you reading? Who are you listening to? What are you believing for? And a consistent action over time, and not overnight, will get you to where you want to go. You didn't get here overnight. You don't get to get there overnight. There's no such thing as luck. It's hard work, but you have to put it in. So your life can be completely transformed by the end of this year. If you choose to have that done, if you choose every single day, you choose joy, you choose, this sounds silly, but you choose to pack the lunch. You choose water over the drink or the sugar. You choose not to hit the snooze. You choose, maybe you have to choose some new friends. Maybe you choose to dive into things that are hard. You choose to say no. It's a choice. So, all right, man, that got deep. I didn't mean for it to get deep. I meant to just share a couple of revelations from this morning. So, all right. Thank you for tuning in. Your presence matters. I will choose a book because I know a lot of you love to go through books. I've been reading I've been reading my whole life. So I've read a ton. And so I was like, I want a new book, but maybe it's not for me. It's for you. So I will choose a great book that maybe you've never gone through and I already have, but it's a good reminder. All right. Thank you for tuning in. I would love for you to press the share button. Sharing is caring. Reach out with any questions that you have. You can always go to KetoMomSecrets.com. You're welcome, Shona. You're so great. Shona is my friend in Georgia, and I love her. Thank you for tuning in. Reach out with any questions that you have. You can go to KetoMomSecrets.com for recipes for those of you who are like, please help me how to get started. Recipes, ask me questions, ketone trial packs. I mail them out every single day. I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.